how are you learners? So in this lesson we're going to be talking about a singular matrix and an identity matrix. So let's go ahead and start with a singular matrix. So a singular matrix is the type of a matrix which has a determinant 0, and a singular matrix has no inverse. So for example, let's say we do have matrix A, which is equal to A, B, C, and D. And to find the determinant of matrix A, we multiply and find the product of these numbers, and we subtract it from the product of these numbers. So the determinant will be AB minus CD. And if this determinant is equal to 0, if AB minus CD is equal to 0, that matrix is called a singular matrix. So for another example, let's say we do have matrix X, and matrix X is 2, 4, 3, and 6. And we want to find the determinant of matrix X. So to find the determinant, we are going to say 2 times 6 minus 4 times 3, right? 2 times 6, that's a 12, and 4 minus 3, that's a 12. So 12 minus 12 is equal to 0. So the determinant of this matrix is equal to 0. So this matrix is called a singular matrix. And like we said, this matrix has no inverse. Now moving on to another example. So in this example, it says, given that matrix B is a singular matrix, find the value of X. And we're given this is the matrix B, and it has minus 3, minus 2, 9, and X. And remember, the determinant for matrix B is supposed to be equal to 0. So working out the determinant, we're going to say minus 3 times X subtracting 9 times minus 2. We're going to get a 0. So it will be like minus 3 times X subtract minus 2 times 9 is equal to 0. Now we just simplify. Minus 3 times X, we're going to get a minus 3X, and we put a negative sign. Minus 2 times 9, we're going to get a negative 18 is equal to 0. And here we do have a minus and a minus, so that is going to change to plus. So it's going to be minus 3x plus 18 is equal to a 0. Now this is an algebraic expression and we are solving for x. In other words, we want to make x the subject of the formula. So we're going to take positive 18 and put it over the equal sign, and it becomes negative 18. So it will be like minus 3x is equal to minus 18. And we want to find the value of x, so we're going to divide all of the sides by a negative 3. And here we're going to cancel the minus 3's, and you say minus 3 into minus 18, we're going to get a 6. Or we can just cancel the negative sign at first, then we're going to be left with 18 and 3. So the value of x is going to be 6. So just proving, if we come and put a 6 there, and we find the determinant of this whole matrix is going to be a 0. Now let's move on to identity matrix. So for an identity matrix, firstly let's talk about the symbol. So the symbol of an identity matrix is I, and this matrix is equal to, for a 2 by 2, 1 0 0 1. So this is an identity matrix for a 2 by 2 matrix, and every time you multiply, let's say matrix A times its inverse, we're going to get an identity matrix. So for example, let's say we do have matrix B, and matrix B is 4 3 1 1, and we want to find the inverse of this matrix, so that we have to multiply the original matrix times its inverse and see if we're going to get the identity matrix. So to find the inverse, we're going to first calculate the determinant, which we're going to say 4 times 1, then we subtract 3 times 1. So 4 times 1, that's a 4, and 3 times 1, that's a 3. So 4 minus 3, we're going to get a 1. So the determinant for this matrix is going to be 1. Now for the inverse, we're going to say 1 over determinant, which is 1. Then these numbers are going to interchange. So it's going to be 1 right here and 4 right there. And these numbers, we multiply them by -1. So 3 times -1, that's a -3. And 1 times -1, that's a -1. And 1 over 1, that's simply a 1. So the inverse of this matrix is going to be 1, -3, -1, and 4. So we're going to multiply the original matrix, which is 4, 3, 1, 1, and its inverse, which is 1, -3, -1, and 4, to get the identity matrix. So this is a 2 by 2 matrix multiplying a 2 by 2 matrix. So the result is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. So we're going to start with this row and this column. So we're going to say 4 times 1, then we add the product of 3 times -1. Now we multiply this row and this column. So we're going to say 4 times -3 plus 3 times 4. Now we go onto this row and this column. So 1 is going to be multiplied to 1, then we add this 1 is going to be multiplied to this -1. And lastly, we're going to multiply this row and this. So it's going to be 1 times -3 plus 1 times 4. We're just going to have to go and put the big bracket. Now let's simplify. So 4 times 1, we're going to get a 4 plus 3 times a -1, that's a -3. Now let's move here. 4 times -3, that's a -12. We're going to put a plus, and say 3 times 4, we're going to get a 12. Now moving here, 1 times 1, we're going to get a 1, and say plus 1 times -1, that's a -1. And last here, 1 times -3, that's a -3. Then let's put a plus. 4 times 1, that's a 4. Now we say 4 plus -3, it'll be 4 minus 3, that's a 1. Now we go here, minus 12 plus 12, that's a 0. 1 plus -1, we say 1 minus 1, that's a 0. Then lastly, minus 3 plus 4, that's a 1. And guess what? This is the identity matrix. So if we multiply a matrix and its inverse, we're going to get what? An identity matrix. And this is the end of this video, and till we meet again.